Hello. Now we're going to talk about the Delta variant, not the original COVID-19, but the current Delta variant. It's a different mutation of the original COVID-19. And there are more and more concerns, and there are 5 things that you really need to know about the Delta variant. You remember last month, there was a graph that was sent out. It looks like this. And if you look at the graph, you need to know that if you get the COVID variant and you give it to 1 or 2 people, then those 2 people could give it to 1 or 2 people more. And that was back with regular COVID-19. Now they say that the Delta variant can be given to more people. Perhaps I could give it to 3 people, and then those 3 people would go out and give it to 3 people and 3 people, and it's spreading much, much quicker. And I want to show you this graph from the CDC, the Center for Disease Controls, and it's very specific. It's very scientific, but I will explain to you what it means. If you see here, this is from all of the United States. There are 9 different variants. The SARS-CoV-2 was the original, and it has mutated, and there are 9 variants. But currently you've seen the Delta variant in the news, and you hear that as a buzzword, that it's spreading quickly. People are getting more sick than the original COVID-19. But if you look at these numbers, you see different colors in the columns. And if you look at the orange part, that refers to the Delta variant. The other colors are other variants, such as Alpha, Beta, I can't remember the others, but focus on the orange section of the picture. On the left, that was the end of July 30th. And there were about 70% of the people who were getting COVID were getting the Delta variant. If you now look, the orange has grown, and as of yesterday, September 30th, we're talking July, August, September. In 3 months, that percentage has grown from 70% to now 99%. So it means all of the new cases of COVID in the United States are coming from Delta. Now in Rhode Island, it's less than 2% right now, but those numbers are growing. But so far it has been less than 2%. People think 2% is no big deal. But once you get it, remember, you could get very sick. You may end up in the hospital, especially people who have yet to be vaccinated. They could get very, very ill and possibly die. So again, we are encouraging you to follow social distancing rules. Continue to do that. Continue to wear your mask. If you go into a building, especially, wear a mask. If you're outside, it might be okay to take them off, but it depends. If you are in a park and there's a lot of people, perhaps a sports game, you should wear a mask. And social distance, they say 3 feet, I say 6 feet. If you stretch out your arms to the side and keep people that far away from you, that will help. And if we get more people vaccinated, if we get those numbers up, and we increase the number of people who are getting boosters, we can dwindle those numbers down and beat COVID. Other things that I want to let you know. If you are not yet vaccinated, you are at higher risk. The Department of Health has already said so, that people who have not been vaccinated are at the highest risk of getting COVID. And they have the numbers to prove that 98% of positive COVID cases, people who end up in the hospital, are people who have yet to get vaccinated. Less than 2% of people have been vaccinated. But you have to understand, there's still science behind all of this. Those 98% of people who aren't vaccinated and get sick, they will get sicker with Delta. Now, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, and who is getting sick the most? Right now, it's children aged 12 to 18. You know, that those children can get vaccinated, but sometimes they aren't getting vaccinated. And so now Pfizer has been approved for a booster. And so there's still a large number of people who are not yet vaccinated who could get sick. But the people who are vaccinated are protected, and we need to protect our children. That's why schools right now are being so strict, making sure that all kids are wearing masks, that they're testing, that they're sanitizing. You know, the first few months when COVID hit, you know, schools were very strict. And again, we're being very strict because of unvaccinated children spreading the disease. And if an unvaccinated person gives it to another unvaccinated person, it spreads quite quickly. So science is still doing more research about the Delta variant. They don't know everything about it yet. They don't know if the vaccine will kill Delta. But right now, there's Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, and their efficacy rate of preventing the disease is very high. Very few vaccinated people are in the hospital or dying. It's very rare. You know, about 95% to 96% of people are doing well, but there are still percents where the numbers are coming up and science is still researching. And that's why they're asking you to please be careful. Don't be carefree. Don't think we can go back to pre-COVID with no masks and parties, gatherings in colleges and other places. Please be careful. And it seems like Delta's showing up more and more, and in specific states. In the cities, there seems to be maybe one town who has 70% people or 75% of the people vaccinated. But perhaps the next town over might only have 40% people who are vaccinated. And we don't necessarily know why that town is behind. But of course, in that town where there's less vaccination, it will spread faster. And there is a higher chance that they could give it to the people who are vaccinated in the next town. And it's really hitting the unvaccinated people and the children in the community. And the Department of Health has more online that all Rhode Island towns, they have the percentages of how many people have gotten vaccinated If you're interested, you should go online to the Department of Health and look, but they are asking towns to please get vaccinated. We've asked for 70% or above. And the state right now total is about 68.3% vaccinated. And that's good, but there are still some great variation between towns. You know, people just don't know. I mean, we all spread ourselves and drive all around, but it's really best if you please share with your family and friends this information about Delta. It's not funny. It's a serious, serious situation. Thank you so much.